Colin. Good friend Colin. Not really.
Greetings. I'm glad your harrowing went well.
I wasn't planning on failing.
I have heard of failed harrowings. The consequences were not pleasant. Honestly, I've never seen an abomination, or been called on to slay one.
So, you could have made a mistake.
Gregor would have guided me. Something must happen. But what if it's not obvious? Could abominations be walking among us right now?
I'm sure there are no abominations here.
This is still new to me. Maybe one day I'll be as dedicated and driven as Knight Commander Gregor.
He's a pretty dedicated man indeed.
You must be busy. Perhaps we can talk another time. I hope you are well.
Not thanks to you. Copo! My first money. Sack of money. Private documents. Useful for main... whatever. Nothing.
Did you see that Grey Warden? I hear he's trying to recruit a mage for his order. I wonder how the King's army fares at Ostgar. I've heard talk of a new blight. Did you see that Grey Warden? I hear he's trying to recruit a mage for his order.
Of course.
The cardinal rules of magic. You must not be under the misimpression that magic is all-powerful. There are limits, and not even the greatest mages may overcome them. For no one, for instance, has found any means of traveling either over great distances or small ones beyond putting one foot in front of the other. The mutual nature of the physical world prevents this. So no, you may not simply pop over at Minrados, when whatever, to order a cup of sugar, nor make your magic the essay you forgot in the apprentice dormitory to your desk. You will simply have to be prepared. Similarly, even when you send your mind into a fate, your body remains behind. Only once has this barrier been overcome, and reputedly the spell required 2/3 of delirium in the Inter Imperium, as well as the lifeblood of several hundred slaves. The results were utterly disastrous. Finally, life is finite. Or finite, whatever. A truly great healer may bring someone back from the very precipice of death, when breath and heartbeat have ceased, but the spirit still clings to life. And once the spirit has fled the body, it cannot be recalled. That is no failing of your skills or power, it is simply reality. From the lectures of First Enchanter Flavius. Okay. I need another button for that.
It's great to see you. It's always sad when an apprentice fails the harrowing.
Elf fruit, deep mushroom. Trainer fruit restores 10 health, and those with skill can use elf fruit to make more potent elixirs. Let's put it here. Warrior or rogue? Gains stamina. Okay. Frostrock. Bonus cold resistance. Okay. You have acquired a health poultice. This instantly restores some of your health. To use the poultice, drag it from your inventory to a quick bar, or click it directly from the inventory, or right click it on the inventory, select use. Stores sell more poultices, and characters who have learned herbalism can create their own. Can I create my own? Okay, amazing. I will need this. Most definitely. I think I'm going to put my skills here. Cunning 12, cunning 13, 16. Okay, let me see. This is also cunning. And this is level based. $16 cunning, huh? Okay. I will keep that in mind. I know she starts a quest that woman.
It's great to see you. It's always sad when an apprentice fails the harrowing. It's great to see you.
I'm not going to talk to her right now because I don't know she starts the quest.
I'd avoid Leora if I were you. She's been rather testy lately.
Why?
Who knows? I'm not going to ask her why she's irritable. Women hate those kind of questions. Hope you're having a good day.
I'm worried if I don't talk
Yes.
to her. Maleficarum. It has been asked, what are Maleficarum? How shall we know them? I've been as troubled by this question as you. You've come to me for the wisdom of the Maker, but none have seen the Maker's heart save beloved Andraste. And so I have done all what all monsters must, and looked to the words of his prophet for answers. And there I found respite from a troubled mind. For she has said to us, magic exists to serve a man and never to rule over him. Therefore, I say to you, they who work magic which dominates the minds and hearts of others, they have transgressed the Maker's law. Also, Our Lady said to us, those who bring harm without provocation to the least of his children are hated and accursed by the Maker. And so it is made clear to me, as it should be to all of us, that magic which fills itself by harming others, by the letting of blood, is hated by the Maker. Those mages who honor the Maker and keep his laws, we welcome as our brothers and sisters. Those who reject the laws of the Maker and the words of his prophet are apostates. They shall be cast out and given no place among us. From the sermons of Justinia the First. Maybe I should talk to her. I'm afraid I will lose the fade? What the fuck? Ah, I guess I cannot rename them. Maybe I should have. Alright. I'm afraid she won't give me a
You're not
quest
going to keep the
later.
first enchanter waiting, are you?
Ooh.
Oh, it's you. I hear Irving's looking for you.
I guess she gives it to me after I talk to Irving.
Ah, this is infuriating. Another batch destroyed. Say, have you seen Owain? Is he in the stockroom?
Yes, I just spoke to him.
Oh, excellent. He wasn't there last I looked. I hope he still has some cinnabar lying around. When I asked last week, he said he was running out.
Okay.
Don't you have something better to do?
Evidently not. The altar, huh? A book. The rite of annulment. In the 83rd year of the Glory Age, one of the mages of the Nevarran Circle was found practicing forbidden magic. The Templars executed him swiftly, but this brewed discontent among the Nevarran Circle. The mages made several magical attacks against the Templars' vengeance for the executed mage, but the Knight Commander was unable to track down which were responsible. 3 months later, the mages summoned a demon and turned it loose against their Templar watchers. Demons, however, are not easily controlled. After killing the first wave of Templars who tried to contain it, the demon took possession of one of its summoners. The resulting abomination slaughtered Templars and mages both before escaping into the countryside. The Grand Cleric sent a legion of Templars to hunt the fugitive. They killed the abomination a year later, but by that time he had slain 70 people. Divine Galathea, responding to a catastrophe in Nevarra and hoping to prevent further incidents, granted all the Grand Clerics in the Chantry the power to purge a circle entirely if they rule it irredeemable. This rite of annulment has been performed 17 times in the last 700 years. From Of Circles, Mages, and Templars, A History of Magic by Sister Petrine. The Prophet and... what?
Blessed art thou who exists in the sight of the Maker.
What are you doing?
Bless... Oh, hello. I'm reciting the Maker's blessings. Would you like to join me?
I think not.
I recite the Maker's blessings every day. It brings me peace in troubled times.
Are you in trouble?
No, not really. It's just... I don't want to bore you with this.
I'm sure it isn't boring.
It gives me hope that one day the Maker will hear us. That maybe I'll be forgiven and my curse will be lifted.
Curse?
Magic? What else?
Magic isn't a curse.
Magic causes such misery. It's dangerous and vile and wicked. The Chantry must protect the world from us. Being born with something so terrible must be a punishment. I wish I could be rid of it.
You could ask to be made tranquil.
That takes the magic from me? It does, doesn't it?
Someone like you is better off tranquil anyway.
Imagine. No fear of becoming an abomination, not being reviled by common folk in Chantry. I should go. My mentor only allows a few minutes each day for religious contemplation.
Fucking cowards. She must be one of those loyalist bastards. The founding of the Chantry. Cordelius Dracon, king of the city-state of Orlais, was a man of uncommon ambition. In the year -15 ancient, the young king began construction of a great temple dedicated to the Maker, and declared that by its completion he would not only have united the warring city-states of the south, he would have brought Andastrian belief to the world. In -3 ancient, the temple was completed. There, in its heart, Dracon knelt before the eternal flame of Andraste, and was crowned ruler of the Empire of Orlais. His first act as emperor to declare the Chantry as the established Andrastian religion of the Empire. It took 3 years and several hundred votes before Olesa of Montsimad was elected to lead the new Chantry. Upon her coronation as divine, she took the name of Justinia, in honor of the disciple who recorded Andraste's songs. In that moment, the ancient era ended and the divine age began. From Ferelden Folklore and History by Sister Petrine. What does that have to do with Ferelden? Well, maybe. To some extent. The Prophet Andraste. Bride of the Maker. There was once a tiny fishing village on the waking sea that was set upon by the Imperium, which enslaved the villagers so to be sold in the markets of Minrathus, leaving behind only the old and the infirm. One of these captives was the child Andraste. She was raised in slavery in a foreign land. She escaped, then made the long and treacherous journey back to her homeland alone. She rose from nothing to be the wife of an Alamari warlord. Each day she sang to the gods, asking them to help her people who remained slaves in the winter. The false gods of the mountains and the winds did not answer her, but the true God did. The Maker spoke. He showed her all the works of his hands, the fate, the world, and the creatures therein. He showed her how men had forgotten him, lavishing devotion upon mute idols and demons, and how he had left them to their fate. But her voice had reached him, and so captivated him that he offered her a place at his side, that she might rule all of creation. But Andraste would not forsake her people. She begged the Maker to return, to save his children from the cruelty of the Imperium. Reluctantly, the Maker agreed to give man another chance. Andraste went back to her husband, Maferath, and told him that what the Maker had revealed to her. Together they rallied the Alamari and marched forth against the Mage lords of the Imperium, and the Maker was with them. The Maker's sword was creation itself, fire and flood, famine and earthquake. Everywhere they went, Andraste sang to the people of the Maker, and they heard her. The ranks of Andraste's followers grew until they were a vast tide washing over the Imperium. And when Mafrat saw that the people loved Andraste and not him, a worm grew within his heart, gnawing upon him. At last, the armies of Andraste and Mafras stood before the very gates of Minrathos, but Andraste was not with them. For Mafrad had schemed in secret to hand Andraste over to the Winter. For this, the Archon would give Mafrad all the lands to the south of the Waking Sea. And so, before all the armies of the Alamari and the Winter, Andraste was tied to a stake and burned while her earthly husband turned his armies aside and did nothing, for his heart had been devoured. But as he watched the pyre, the Archon softened. He took pity on Andraste and drew his sword and granted her the mercy of a quick death. The Maker wept for his beloved, cursed Mafrad, cursed mankind for their betrayal, and turned once again from creation, taking only Andraste with him, and Our Lady sits still at his side, where she still urges him to take pity on his children. Apparently without, without any success, from the sermons of Justinian II. Lily.
I heard about your harrowing. Congratulations. Andraste must have smiled upon you.
Okay.
I heard about your harrowing. Congratulations. Andraste must have smiled
Andraste
upon
is dead.
It will be done.
The Maker doesn't exist. There was no worth for heaven or for earth, for sea or sky. All that existed was silence. Then the voice of the Maker rang out, the first word, and his word became all that might be. Dream and idea, hope and fear, endless possibilities. And from it made his firstborn. He said to them, "In my image I forged you. To do I give you dominion over all that exists. By your will may all things be done." Then in the center of heaven he called forth a city with towers of gold, streets with music for cobblestones, and banners which flew without wind. There he dwelled, waiting to see the wonders his children would create. The children of the Maker gathered before his golden throne and sang hymns of praise unending, but the songs were the songs of the cobblestone. They shone with the golden light, they reflected the Maker's throne. They held for the banners that flew on their own, and the voice of the Maker shook the fates, saying, "In my image I have brought my firstborn who have given dominion over all that exists. By your will all things are done, yet you do nothing. The realm I have given you, its formless, ever changing." And he knew he had wrought amiss. So the Maker turned from his firstborn and took from the Fade a measure of its living flesh, and placed it apart from the spirits, and spoke to it, saying, "Here I decree opposition in all things, for earth, sky, for winter, summer, for darkness, light. By my will alone is balance sundered, and the world given new life. And no longer was it formless, ever changing, but held fast, immutable, his words for heaven and for earth, sea and sky. At last did the Maker from the living world make men immutable as the substance of earth, with souls made of dream and idea, hope and fear, endless possibilities. Then the Maker said, "To you, my second-born, I grant this gift. In your heart shall burn an unquenchable flame, all-consuming and never satisfied. From the fate I crafted you, and to the fate you shall return, each night in dreams, that you may always remember me." And then the Maker sealed the gates of the Golden City, and there he dwelled, waiting to see the wonders his children would create. Hello, Visors. Yeah, finally we're in Dragon Age. I have died once so far, because I was a stupid fucking moron, and I had to...
As you say,
The chant of light, the blight. I had to decrease the difficulty in a part because I kept fighting the same rage demon for 40 minutes and I couldn't kill it and it couldn't kill me. So I decided to decrease the difficulty to see if I could kill him that way. It was fucking stupid that. Hilarious. Okay, the chantry. The chant. More chanting, holy shit. How many hours? I would say about 2 hours. Let me see. 3 hours actually now. But I would say 1 hour was fighting that fucking demon. And yeah, I have only completed one quest. Let me show you. This quest, the Harrowing. You survived your time in the Fade and resisted the hidden demonic threat. You have completed the Harrowing. That's all I've done so far. And I have this quest now. See what Irwin wants from you. Joan, another circle apprentice, rose you from your slumber the morning after your harrowing. After fretting out his own delayed harrowing, Joan informed you that Irving would like to speak to you. Do not keep the first enchanter waiting. That's all. That's all I've done other than reading and chanting, which is what I have to do now. No matter their power, their triumphs, the mage lords of the Tevinter were men and doomed to die. Then a voice whispered from within their hearts, "Shall you surrender your power to time like the beast of the fields? To all the lords of the earth, go forth to claim the empty throne of heaven and be gods." In secret they walked, magic upon magic, and their power and all their vanity. They turned against the veil until at last it gave way. Above them a river of light, before them the drum of Haven, waiting beneath their feet the footprints of the Maker. All around them echoed a vast silence. But then they took a single step toward the empty throne. A great voice cried out, shaking the very foundations of heaven and earth. "And so it is." No, this is. "And so it is." "And so it is, the golden city blackened, which each step you take in my hall. Marvel at perfection, for it is fleeting. You brought sin to heaven, and doom upon all the world. Violently they were cast down, for no mortal may walk bodily in the realm of streams, bearing the mark of their crime, bodies so maimed and distorted that none would see them and know them for men. Deep into the earth they fled, away from the light. In darkness eternal they searched for those who had goaded them on, until at last they found the price, their god, their betrayer, the sleeping dragon to mat. Their taint twisted even the false god, and the whisperer awoke at last in pain and horror, and led them to wreak havoc upon all the nations of the world. The first blight. Okay, let's go. So yeah, you haven't missed much. That's basically what I can tell you. Duncan MacLeod, hello.
Nothing to see here.
I will.
Of course.
Of course. Of course.
Many have already gone to Ostagar. Wynne, Aldred, and most of the senior mages. We've committed enough of our own to this war effort.
Your own? Since when have you felt such kinship with the mages, Gregor? Or are you afraid to let the mages out from under Chantry supervision, where they can actually use their Maker-given powers?
How dare you suggest?
Gentlemen, please.